In the last two videos, we sent some emails and notifications to multiple users. But since we sent them only to 3 users and used a fake server, you wouldn't have noticed any delay in cancelling a class. But when you use a real mail server, sending mail is too time consuming. Once the instructor cancels a class, the page keeps loading until the mails are sent to all the members. And that's a very bad user experience. The instructor shouldn't have to wait. The mailing has to happen in the background, right? The perfect solution for that is creating jobs and queues in Laravel. You can use different queue backends like Amazon SQS or Redis, and Laravel provides support for a variety of these. But in this video, we will use our own database for storing the jobs. If you wish to use a different service, you might have to edit the configuration in queue.php within the config directory. Whichever service you choose, you need to specify the driver in the .env file. .env, scroll up, and here you'll see something called as queue connection, and I'd like to set this to database. When it's set to sync, then it doesn't actually act like a job. This is used for local development only, but now we want to actually make it work like a job. So let me change this to database itself. And now since we need a database table to hold all the jobs, let's generate a migration for the same. Sale artisan queue table. So the migration for that table will be created. You don't have to edit anything. You can directly migrate. Okay, let's check the table class to see if we have a table. Yes, we do have the jobs table created for us. Now for us to send the notifications in the background, we first have to create a job and then add it to a queue. To create a job, execute sale artisan, make job, and let me call it notify class cancelled job. Once again, I'm prefixing it with job only to distinguish it from the notify class cancelled event listener that we already have. I don't want any confusion. So let me open this. A job class is very simple. It only contains a handle method. Open up the event listener, notify class cancelled. So we can cut this out from here and paste it within the handle method. And here in the constructor, let's create two properties, public members and public array details. So here we can access them using this members, this details. Now the job is ready. We need to dispatch this job in our event listener instead of sending the notification directly. To dispatch the job, use the job class notify class cancel job and use the dispatch method and pass the members collection and the details array. That's all is needed. Let's test this out. Go back to the browser, refresh, cancel the class. No errors, but we don't have any new mails. Let me delete all and try again. Cancel. Like you saw, no errors, but we haven't received any emails. Let's check our table class. Table, refresh. Yes, we cancelled twice, so we do have 2 jobs. That means the jobs were dispatched successfully. But why haven't we received any emails? That's because there's no queue worker running to process the job. There needs to be a process that runs in the background to pull the queue back in for jobs that are yet to be processed. We can start a new worker using the command sale artisan queue work or even queue listen. Let's start this process. And now you see it's running and it's failed for some reason. It's running and it's again failed. No problem. We can check why our jobs are failing, but at least they're being processed. We know that now. Let's go to Telescope. And let's go to jobs. Yes, it's failed. Let's check. You can scroll down and you can check the exception message class app jobs notification not found. I'm sure I forgot to import the notification facade here. Right here, I need to import notifications facade. And let me import this as well, otherwise it's going to fail again. Yeah, the class is imported. Save. Now let's try refresh and cancel. And then I think I had stopped the queue work. Let me restart it. Sale artisan queue work. Let it start listening to the jobs and process them again. Yes, now it's running and done. So we've received the mails and this did run in the background. Now, obviously, in production, you cannot manually start the queue worker this way. You will have to use a program called Supervisor. I'll let you explore that on your own. Now that we've explored and tested all different ways to send notifications to our members, we can finally go to the schedule class controller right here and uncomment these 2 lines so that the class is actually cancelled after all of this happens. But there's one problem. We cannot delete first and then detach. It would have already been deleted, so this won't work. We will have to detach them first and then delete the whole thing. Okay, this video was a very basic introduction to jobs and queues. There's so much more you can do, like creating multiple queues with different priorities and then dispatching jobs to different queues based on how important they are and when they should be processed. You can create job batches, job chaining, and you can handle how to deal with failed jobs, like do you want to try them, do you want to ignore the failed jobs, and so much more based on your project requirements. So if the need arises, know that Laravel has support for all of this.